The third season of Reacher concluded with a thrilling finale, bringing the story full circle with intense conflict, revenge, and even a few happy endings. In many ways, Unfinished Business follows the structure of the previous two-season finales, particularly in how everything ties up neatly. However, this season's distinct storyline allowed for a fresh approach to a familiar conclusion. While things ultimately work out, Reacher and his allies face an array of threats unlike any they had encountered before. At its core, Reacher Season 3 is a tale of vengeance. Xavier Quinn was responsible for the death of Dominique Cole, the first soldier Reacher ever mentored in the Criminal Investigation Division of the U.S. Army. He carried the burden of guilt over her death, believing his decision not to back her up during Quinn's arrest played a role in her demise. His intention was to let his protege take the credit for the arrest, but Quinn proved to be far more dangerous and ruthless than anyone had anticipated. The showdown between Reacher and Paulie delivered on its promise. Alan Ritchson, who plays Reacher, revealed that filming his fight scene with the towering Paulie was the 3 hardest weeks of his career. Given how much the season built up to this climactic battle, it's easy to see why the sequence was so grueling to shoot. The confrontation takes up a significant portion of the finale's runtime, reinforcing its importance. At one point, the brawl leads them into the turbulent waters near Zachary Beck's house, a sequence that reminded Ritchson of his Smallville days as Aquaman. However, the most memorable aspect of the fight was its conclusion. Paulie is the first adversary Reacher has faced who was physically stronger than him. As Paulie takes his last breath, Reacher acknowledges that he wasn't the bigger or stronger fighter, but he was the smarter one. After 2 seasons of watching Reacher bulldoze through enemies like an unstoppable force, it was a refreshing change to see him genuinely push to his limits. Richard Beck finally got to pursue his dream after a life of hardship. One of the standout character dynamics in Season 3 was the evolving relationship between Zachary and Richard Beck. Zachary, a gunrunner forced to surrender his business to Quinn, had endured the trauma of seeing his son kidnapped and mutilated, losing an ear in the process. In the previous episode, father and son finally reached a level of understanding, with Zachary ultimately saving Richard by using the toy gun his son had given him for his birthday to The birthday party battle was a classic Reacher finale set piece. The Season 3 finale delivered action far beyond just the one-on-one fight between Reacher and Paulie. The episode kicks off with a deadly ambush on the ATF agents by Quinn's mercenaries. Despite Reacher's vantage point with a sniper rifle, one he had planned to use to assassinate Quinn, all of the agents are killed. This brutal opening set the stage for the high-stakes confrontation that followed. There's no unfinished business left in Reacher Season 3. A particularly entertaining moment comes when Duffy tells Reacher that she isn't interested in a romantic relationship, preempting the speech he typically gives in such situations. In the novels, this is often Reacher's line, making the scene an amusing reversal. However, unlike in the books, Reacher's past love interests in the show have consistently exercised their own agency in these decisions. That minor detail aside, the season's ending feels fully resolved and satisfying. Every surviving character receives a fitting send-off, with Neagley and Reacher exchanging meaningful words of wisdom and mutual respect.